Machinae Supremacy, our favourite band, hailing from the Nordic dark city of Luleå, Sweden, is turning 20 this year. They've given us more than our share of epic win and awesome over this time, inspired us to live our best lives, and most importantly, helped us overcome our everyday challenges. In the blink of an eye, their Digital Nation fanbase has grown into a worldwide family to celebrate this incredible anniversary. We look back at how those family ties were built and explore just how powerful Machinae Supremacy's impact on all of us has been.
Hey, Digital Nation, Machinae Supremacy people.
My name is Ingeborg. I'm from Norway.
Hi guys, Paui here.
Hi, my name is Ekaterina and I'm from Moscow.
I'm Samira from Germany.
I'm Ugu from Portugal.
Hello, it's Tatu here with a Perkele from Finland.
I'm Kirill from St. Petersburg, Russia.
My name's Mike Dawes, for those that have never met me before. I played acoustic guitar on the song Europa.
My name is Ville, I'm 29 years old and I live in Seinäjoki, Finland.
Hi, Janneke here, I'm Gordon's sister.
Hello, it's Valentin from Russia.
My name's David, I'm based in the UK.
I've never really gotten involved in any of these crowdsourced community efforts or anything like this. Not through a lack of wanting to, but more through just not being able to sing at a camera and keep a straight face. But talking I can do.
It's a real pleasure to be doing this little video greeting for you guys on your 20th anniversary as a band, which is pretty unbelievably amazing.
20 years, pretty nice.
Pretty good.
Thank you for awesome music you've been doing past 20 years.
I wanted to tell a bit of a story about how Machinae Supremacy changed my life.
So I have liked Machinae Supremacy for as long as I can remember.
Flashback to the very beginning. I discovered the band in 2002 or so. When my brother linked me to the old website, with its old Flash player interface and all of those free songs to download, I was absolutely hooked. It was revolutionary at the time. I was obsessed. I joined the forums in around 2004 with the release of Deus Ex Machinae, and my god, I must have been about 14 or so. I was a little shit. I was a brat. I spent many years and many thousands of posts trolling and slowly but surely growing the fuck up over time.
I followed the band since they started. I watched them grow up. One of my first memories was probably the early gatherings, rehearsals when they formed. Also the shooting of the video Cryosleep, epic.
I've been lucky enough to have been following you for almost the entirety of it. Ever since I first saw you live, I wouldn't have found a band online back then. Social media wasn't really a thing back in 2002. Glad you got booked for Assembly. I don't know who by, but thanks to them.
One of these will be to be performing in the live concert tomorrow with a rocking band called Machinae Supremacy.
A guy from my class, who I had met only recently, came up to me and asked me, you like metal, right? Metal! And video games?
Necromancer needs food badly.
I was like, yeah. And in a way it was like, oh, do I have something to show you? I knew the band existed in early 2000s, and someday they made a soundtrack for the game, Just in Guns, and my colleague have been playing this game all day long at work, and the soundtrack became the soundtrack of my day job.
I actually discovered them on a website called The Definitive Guide to C64 Remixes, which I used to frequent quite a lot because I grew up on the Commodore 64. I quite often listened to SID music.
I discovered MASU quite accidentally, so it was about 10 years ago on some musical site. I saw a comment like, hey guys, try listen to Machinae Supremacy, very unusual music. and I've never heard about the band before, so I've decided why not to try it. And after listening to the first 3 songs, I realized that I just fell in love.
I first heard you guys when I was, must have been like much smaller indeed. Would have been well over 10 years ago. I'm trying to think, it must have been 2006, maybe 7. A friend played me, I think, Winter Storm.
The first time I discovered Machinae Supremacy was the year 2007. It was my then boyfriend who sent me a link to Through the Looking Glass, the music video. I just remember being like, wow, you don't hear this every day. I also remember thinking that the lead singer was really cute.
Some years later they made a music video, Ancient Pearl, and I think I became a fan on the same day because the video was so awesome. Before that I knew Machinae Supremacy, some band playing rock music with chip tuning, and now I see them on the video as persons, as real people, and they were so cool on the video.
The first Machinae Supremacy song I heard was Koala in the Spiderweb, because it was on Flash Revolution back in 2008.
I think I was 14 or something when my best friend Eich introduced me to Okikuma's Adventure.
The first time when I heard the MASU song, I was, not to lie, I was 14 or 13 years old, and I had my elder brother player, and there was the one song of MASU, it's called Winter Storm, and actually the first time when I heard it, I wasn't so good emotion. I hadn't so good emotion about this. I don't really even like it.
What you say?
How dare you! But I don't know why, but I started to listen it again and again, and on the third time when I actually heard it, I started to enjoy it. I don't know why. It was not so usual music. It was not in common with some groups I heard before, and I really enjoyed the text. And after that, maybe, I started to searching for new songs, and I really became a big fan of their music.
I was at college, and a friend of mine made an AMV with Machine Prime as the song, and I thought it was the most epic thing I'd ever heard.
The first song that he made me listen to was Empire. I was blown away. It wasn't like anything I've ever heard before, and at that time I was listening to quite a lot of stuff.
I was like, NANI? I'd never heard anything like it. I was like, you can combine video game sounds and hard rock music?
I found this hauntingly beautiful melody with really sad lyrics, and a song that had a huge amount of hope written in it. And the song is called Flag Carrier. And I remember loving the melody especially and wanting to hear more.
It was fun and positive music which made me happy. And what made me even happier was when I found out that they had actually made a cover song of Gianna Sisters' main theme, because that game was one of my favorites in my childhood.
The first time I heard Machinae Supremacy music was my school buddy's engagement party in 2008. We had this dance mat game, and I remember battling against someone. The song that was playing was some Machinae Supremacy song. I still today have no recollection of which song that was. I just remember thinking that this is a very hard song on this game, but it sounds good. Which eventually led me to a record store to go buy Overworld and Redeemer, and to Pirate Bay to find some more.
So I still got all of the downloads.
Hey kid!
What?
I'm a computer! Stop all the downloading!
And I still listen to them as well as using your music for background music on Twitch when I stream.
I started searching on YouTube, and I remember perfectly the first album I came up to that I listened all the way through was A View from the End of the World, and goddamn, it was amazing.
When that came out, I was super obsessed. What an amazing album.
And it appeared to be on the same high level as the previous albums.
As my knowledge about the ways of the internet grew, I would download the entire discography.
And I fell in love instantly.
I got hooked, basically.
Hook, line, and sinker.
I became a fan in the first 2 hours of discovering it, and it's pretty cool because it has never happened to me before or after.
When I first encountered the band, that was 9 years ago, when I was gaming together with a very good friend of me, and he played a song from the newest album. In that case, I think it was "Indiscriminate Murder is Counterproductive," the song, and he played it like all day long, 5 times in an hour or like that, and I was finally like, so what band is that?
What's this? Is people singing songs?
And he is like, why have you never heard of Machinae Supremacy? You're a gamer like me. And I was like, no, never heard of it. And so he played the whole album to me until I actually very fell in love with the band.
My friend also fooled me by saying something like they have these custom guitars in which they can put these seed chips. And I was like, oh, so that's how they get those 60 tunes. I was young.
You're so naive.
Not long after that, I got to see them live for the first time.
I thought, it's really time to go to the concert.
Are you ready?
I've been listening to you since 2001. And I saw your first gig in 2004 in Uleåborg, to which I traveled from Åbo, where I was living back then. It's the longest distance I've traveled to any single gig, even to this day. After the gig, we had beers in the bar, and after that, we went to an after party in your hotel room, and it was amazing to chat with your guys.
They started touring in 2010. I called some friends from our community. Hey, do you want to go with me to the concert? Some of them said, yeah, okay. And we were the first Russian people meeting the band. For us, it was a big thing because it's a dream come true for us. The next year I thought that I can make something for the band. Before that there were no live videos and almost no interviews about Machinae Supremacy. And I was naive enough to evaluate my abilities, and it helped a lot. I was brave and stupid, and I wrote to Robert, hey, do you want to give interviews to some crazy Russian guy? He said, okay, let's do it. So the next year I came to Finland again with a lot of cameras, a lot of equipment and stuff, and filmed a lot of materials. What turned to be an interview. I know that you're a kick-ass band, but tell about yourself. So I made a Russian version of it, and the same year the band was invited to play a gig in Russia for the first time ever.
We are Machinae Supremacy! First time in Russia ever!
They played one concert in Moscow in a small club, and the club was full of people coming from all different cities from Russia and from some other countries like Ukraine. After the concert, a lot of people stayed in the club trying to talk to the band, to give some gifts, to sign stuff, and to thank them for their inspiration, because some people started to make music, to play guitar because of the band. It was really a great moment. And now I realized that it was 9 years ago, but for me it was like yesterday. I still remember my project files of the videos that I made from this gig.
I've been following Machinae Supremacy since 2010. Then I was into 8-bit music and I came across Just Guns soundtracks. So in 2011, when MASU came to Russia for the first time, I went to Moscow to their concert without thinking. It was congested, the club was stuffy, the sound was horrible, and the show was totally breathtaking. Thereafter, I visited every MASU gig in St. Petersburg, even before participating in World Tour fundraising.
They were having a show in Dante's Highlight, which was this rock metal bar in Helsinki. And this one person who was in my life back then asked me if I wanted to join. They described it to me as Nintendo metal, and that got me interested. I went to the show, had a great time, and well, this person is not in my life anymore, but thanks to them, Machinae Supremacy is.
I went to Oslo, the capital of Norway, where Machine were playing warm-up for, I think it was Children of Bodom. I wasn't very interested in them, I was just there for Machine.
Everyone was there for Children of Bodom, and I was just like, oh my god, Machinae Supremacy are touring the UK and they're coming to Manchester, and oh my god, I'm so excited.
From building these friendships over the years, it was amazing to finally meet the guys in 2011 when they came to the UK touring with Children of Bodom, whom I admittedly completely ignored because the band came down to drink with us after their gig. We're the ones with the really bad hair. I think we all had bad hair in those years, but we had a great time. It was the best of times. But it was the worst of hairdos.
And I remember just running to the gig because it was, we didn't understand that Machine was gonna play almost at the same time the doors opened. So as we're just running through the doors, I can hear the Sid over the speakers just turning to my friend and kind of going, ah! Just crazy happy.
Seeing them live was incredible.
The gig was amazing, you know, the band were spot on. Couldn't fault that at all. It was really good atmosphere.
A lot of foreign bands don't come over to the UK very often, and you don't always get that chance to see them, but that was absolutely amazing.
I managed to save this ticket as well from that gig, which I'm very proud of, that I got signed by the band members. And I found this outside the gig venue that they were handing out outside the doors.
Oh, whoa!
With a little Children of Bodom section on the back, and look at that. That's so cool. I love it.
And they announced at the end of the gig that they were going to a rock bar.
Oh, that's about to happen.
So if anybody wanted to meet up with them to come along, which I did, it was brilliant.
Let's get us party started!
You guys just left their gear on the stage and jumped right off the stage in the middle of the front row to start talking with people. It's so lovely down-to-earth moment right there.
Well, there surely has been a lot of screaming on my part. I mean, the hype was off the roof. MASU was coming to Poland, and not only were they going to play in Poland, they were going to play in the exact city I was residing in. It was like insane. I marked the date, I stalked the site, I even managed to grab the first free ticket when they went on sale. It's just nuts, completely nuts. Then, of course, the date comes. The great concert. I am just freaking out. I don't know how my friends put up with me. They are the real MVPs of this story. We go there, the concert starts, it's absolutely amazing. Versus becomes the Insta favorite. It was amazing. It was perfect. It was everything I always knew it would be.
I got to meet the band, rather I kind of jumped on Rob and gave him a huge hug. I don't know, he must have thought I was both crazy but also kind of nice, maybe?
My first experience with meeting the band was in Stockholm, after I travelled from England to see them. I had long hair and I just acted like a complete overexcited dork. But Jonas and Tommy were incredibly friendly and incredibly happy to talk to me, which was great. I remember being so impressed by a band that could make time for their fans like that, and I felt very proud to be a fan of theirs at that moment. It was a really special moment for me.
I was thinking back then that, wow, these guys are really, really friendly. I didn't feel any kind of fan-idol dynamics in that. It felt like it was just talking with friends, even though I didn't know these guys back then at all.
My first experience meeting the band wasn't very exciting actually, just a couple of minutes of greetings and getting autographs, but it changed over the years, and subsequent times I was recognized and greeted not as one more person in the crowd, but as an old friend. and this is incredibly cool.
My first time meeting the band is sadly also my only time meeting them. Living in Turkey, it's really hard and expensive for me to go to European countries, so it was a dream came true when they came here touring with Children of Bodom in 2011. I remember it like yesterday. We met up after the concert near the tour bus, which was kind of dirty, and we were drawing Trinity logos all over it with our fingers. We had a really nice chat, and I got them to sign this. Here, let me show you. This. Right here.
I've never imagined that I would travel to another country to see a band, to put so much money on the show that it is like 1.5 hours long and then travel back. But this band, for me, it was totally worth it, and I loved every second.
I was also wearing this homemade t-shirt, which they really liked. Like, I remember them going like, we don't have a merch like this, do we? Like, white makes it look so cool. And I still have it, but sadly it's kind of tiny for me now.
I had this hand-painted t-shirt with MASU logo and a track name, seeing which Rob asked Gordon, I don't remember we ever sold such ones. Still, I haven't watched it for 8 years or so for having autographs of all acting band members.
The first experience in meeting with the band, it was 2016, and it was my first concert in the live, and it was in St. Petersburg. I was there with my elder brother and with our friends, and I just remember my feeling that way, that I can't believe that it's real, but that I really can see guys in 1 or 2 meters in front of me, and they're real. And you know that moment in cartoons when the character have a heart in their eyes? I felt the same way. I don't know why. I was 17 years old, and I was really surprised of how guys can give so many energy and power through the concert, and they just communicate with every person in that club.
My first time meeting with the band was in maybe 2008 or 2009, and it was really brief, and I don't think any of the guys remember seeing me back then, but I got to do a do-over in 2014 or 15, right before the band went to their US tour. They had a show in Nosturi, Helsinki, and we arranged a Machinae Tribe meetup before the show in a bar close by. And as we hung out, we talked about getting Tommy something to remind him of home when he was abroad.
Aw, shucks!
Right before we went to Nosturi, we went to the closest liquor store and we bought this, I can't remember, was it a 1 liter bottle of Jaloviina? And we signed the bottle because all of us had something Tommy had already signed, so it was only appropriate to give him something we'd signed. And when we went to Nosturi, one of us called Tommy beforehand, told him to come outside and meet us there. And he came out, he was all smiling and happy, and he greeted the other guys because he knew them beforehand. And when it was, my turn, I went to him, hand outstretched, and I was ready to shake hands and introduce myself, and he wasn't having any of it. He told me that he didn't want to shake hands with me, he wanted to hug me. And I got this huge hug from him. It was like meeting a friend I'd known for 20 years. Then he told me how he admired what we did with the tribe and how he thought we were really great fans, and he thought of us more like friends. It was amazing because it showed me that the guys I held up, because they were musicians and because of the band I'd admired for more than 10 years, those guys were mostly our friends, and that was amazing.
The first time meeting the band was in 2010, December 5th. To be exact. It was in Kuopio, Finland, in Henry's pub. I went there with my then boyfriend and a bunch of his friends. I remember falling right before the gig because it was so slippery, so it started really well. I've never really been much of a concert goer, so I didn't really know what to expect. But it blew my mind, really. They connect with the audience, like really, so it's like an intense experience, especially Rob, like he, you know, well, for obvious reasons, I had my eye on him a lot. It feels like he's performing for you. He makes you feel seen, which is super cool. And I just remember after the gig, one of my friends that I was there with, he said like, felt like he was taking my clothes off with his eyes. And I was just like, yeah, so he did it with everyone, even the guys.
I'm too sexy for my love.
My first time saying something to Rob was, I was running to him or walking, I guess, and I gave him my arm, like, can you sign this? And then he said something like, sure. And then I ran away. Great first impression.
And he added me on Facebook, and years passed, and I remember just piping up once when he needed someone to do a voiceover. And that was the beginning of what became a couple of concert introductions and some guest starring on the record. And also 2 years ago, to my great happiness, to be on stage with them in Helsinki, in Finland, and yeah, sing along on a couple of songs, and it's been fantastic.
And I remember after the live show really falling in love with the band.
I love you.
Yeah, I've been here ever since.
A year before, I actually got a tattoo done of the Overworld cover art, which I'll show you in a second. But during the meetup after the concert, two of the band members, Rob the singer and Nikki the drummer, signed the tattoo, which I ended up getting immortalised and got tattooed on as well, which I'll show you now. It's just on there. So in 2013 I got the Overworld artwork done with the logo at the top by a local artist and a good friend of mine, Anthony Newlands. After the concert, Rob and Nikki signed it as well, so it kind of tells a story now, which I like.
Nice tattoo, man. Ah, thanks. Nice band, man.
I do not have a tattoo yet, but when I get one, it's this one.
Here it is, right above my heart. This is one of my oldest tattoos. Actually, it's my second one. I got it done way back during the old forum days, so you could say that I was united by heart before it was cool. I saw it on someone there, I can't remember who, but I was like, man, I should have that tattoo. It looks amazing. I really love the shading on the inside. I think it looks very classy. I wasn't even 18 when I got this, and the tattoo artist was like, hey kid, what does that mean? Like, you're not in some sort of a cult, are you? And I was like, oh, you have no idea. Right now I have more than 15 tattoos, I think, but this is easily my favorite tattoo. It's really unique, and the thought of many awesome like-minded people having the same tattoo as me really puts a smile on my face.
I have a Machinae Supremacy logo on my calf, and I took it because I like tattoos and I like the band, and I also like the logo.
I think my favorite song is still Remember Me from the latest album, because it got me very emotional in some cases. The songs can be interpreted about friendship, but it can also be about love and what's so not with family, love with family or love with friends, and that nothing stays forever, and that you should be happy about the moments you have. And that's a reason because why I inked that tattoo on my wrist, because it has my favorite line from the song of it, so just a moment lost with me. And it was very important to me that I have this message always somewhere nearby me, because I decided that if one wants to be happy, you need to stop believing that you're not worth it. And when you realize that this is true someday, you still don't need the message anymore, but you will remember the times it helped you through all the times that were bullshit.
I decided that I wanted a Machinae Supremacy tattoo sometime around 2015. I knew I wanted on my right shoulder to accompany the Children of Bodom Reaper that I have on my left one. I wanted the logo with some lyrics, and the lyrics part was first hard one to pick because there were so many lyrics to choose from. And I was having so many options, and then one day I was listening Player One, just one of my favorite songs, and then the part I race towards the sky in a world that never ends really hit me, because for me it's kind of like a motto.
What's a motto?
Something how I want to live my life. Plus it also has some more personal meanings. So I decided to lyrics, but then I had a hard time deciding the font. And I felt like none of the fonts I went through, I looked a ton of fonts and didn't like any of them. And then a friend of mine had recently got a tribute tattoo for a different band, and she actually asked one of the band members to write the lyrics for the tattoo in his handwriting. And I loved that idea, so I totally just stole that idea. And when they had a show in Nosturi, Helsinki in 2015, I went there with a notebook, and then after the show I asked Rob if he could write this part of the lyrics for a tattoo. He said yes. He wrote it like 15 times. He was really nervous because, I mean, I understand that. I was going to use somebody's actual handwriting on a tattoo, which is permanent.
It's art.
Then I went to a tattoo artist, gave her the notebook that Rob has written into, and then she made me a really, really kick-ass Machinae Supremacy tattoo. And of all my tattoos, I still think that one is my favorite.
I don't have a Machinae Supremacy tattoo per se, but I have this bigger picture with a Trinity logo on it. I used to have this teeny tiny tribal dragon on my arm. It was the first tattoo I ever got. And as time progressed, it got to be this, well, it was teeny, it was tiny, it didn't fit to the rest of the tattoos that I got, so I decided that I want it covered. And I found this new artist from Oulu called Kerttu. She was really young then, and she hadn't been tattooing for long, and I really liked her style. And I decided to ask if she thought that the dragon tattoo could be covered with something else. And I especially loved her portrait style tattoos that she'd done. And we designed this kind of shamanistic, mystical lady with some skulls and war paint and all that. And I asked that if the Trinity logo could be embedded somewhere in the picture. And she did an awesome job with it. If you know about Machinae Supremacy and you recognize the logo, then you see that it's there. But if you don't, then it looks like it's a piece of bone maybe. So it fits really well with the tattoo.
MASU's music is a source of inexhaustible inspiration for me to draw. A lot of paintings were created just because different images and sometimes whole words appeared in my head while listening to the songs. And also after the last concert in Russia that year, I've started to play guitar again, although I stopped playing the instrument many years ago.
Choosing one favorite song it's insanely hard. It's impossible.
That's impossible!
The first song that really hit me was Overworld. That riff basically, it instantly hit me, and it has a perfect beat for jumping around and banging our heads.
It's always been hard to pick a favorite song. I mean, it's hard to pick a top 5 even, but most of the time I lean towards Player One. There's something so captivating in that song for me, both the lyrics and the recurring melody. The first verse is especially special to me, where it goes, "A misfit to this space, no religion, no real place. I grow weary of these walls, so tired of it all." Those are some of my favorite lyrics in any MASU song.
My favorite song from MASU is an unfair question, because they have yet to make a bad one. So something to thrive for in 2020. Make a bad song for once.
My favorite Machinae Supremacy song is that's an easy one, Dark City. because it reminds me of home.
Favorite song is Ronan. Has been, always will be, I think. And of course 27's kind of good as well, I guess.
My favorite of all time is March of the Undead Part 3 Reanimator. When that chorus kicks in for the first time, I lose my shit. Every time.
And of course, it's the song that got me hooked, because, well, I played a metric fuckton of Piano Sisters before I even know what Mario is.
It would be Indiscriminate Murder is counterproductive.
Do it! Just do it!
There are other songs that I have like a personal connection to and really love the lyrics, but this song is something that I think sums up Machine Supremacy and really all the reasons why I love their music. It's really energetic and unique song, awesome seed tunes, and it also has pretty funny lyrics. And I also love that when they play it live, everybody always goes crazy. And it also has actually a personal connection for me too, because that was actually the first song that I played to a friend of mine and got her hooked on their music. Also, for some reason, every time I listen to that song, I really, really want to play Grand Theft Auto, and I wonder why.
It is Persona. Well, it really helped and keep helping me to go through difficult times. So when I feel lonely, scared, then life seems to me shit, I usually turn it on and I feel a moral support and keep fighting.
I've been asking for 6 years to play Conveyor live, but Rob kept replying me that the song was too hard to play live. Nevertheless, at the 2 latest gigs in St. Pete, this song was played live. This shows that the band keeps raising its level.
Reanimator for many reasons. Like, it was one of the first songs that I really loved from them. But then also, like, later on, it became like my fight song, pretty much.
Rise of a Digital Nation.
Rise of a Digital Nation.
My absolute favorite song from Machinae Supremacy is Rise of a Digital Nation. And if you ask anyone from the Machinae tribe, I think 90% will say that the same song is their favorite song.
I love the story, I love the music video, it was really cool. And I'm so mad that I didn't make a contribution for that.
It shows a lot of people, a lot of fans singing and dancing to the music. It's basically sending the song's message of the rise of the digital nation.
It's about us who build our friendships online and see they're as meaningful as those friendships that are built offline. And it's about us that think that the world is basically a one nation, a one digital nation, without borders and politics and all that stupid petty stuff. Yeah, that's our song.
The most powerful army in history!
The digital nation. What does that phrase mean to me?
For me, the digital nation is just us, the generation of people who don't really care about physical borders so much as the living, breathing person on the other side of the screen. No matter where they are from, what race, gender, orientation they are, what matters is who they are as a human being. We're united by heart, one might say. Wink.
The internet is cool because there could be one person from Sweden, one person from Canada, one person from South America, one person from Japan, all like coming together over one thing.
I suppose digital nation is the people for whom no borders exist. Not physical, not geographical, not mental. Digital technologies give an incredible opportunity to feel united with the people whom you can't meet in real life. No matter what is the distance or differences between people, they just can say hi to someone on the other end of the world, get an immediate answer, find common interests and maybe become a friend.
I think the digital nation refers to the possibility of people with similar thoughts and ideals to connect and feel unity with others without being restricted by location or nationality or such traditional limiting factors.
It ignores actual boundaries of nations and creates something entirely new, like unprecedented in our history.
Actually, it's a multi-nations nation.
To me, digital nation phrase is the band and the fans all around the world. We are the digital nation.
Our relationship with the band, I wouldn't say it has been helped by the internet. It's been made possible by the internet.
We are from the internet. Some of you may know us as Machinae Supremacy.
I really like how the band members are super easy to reach.
I'm gonna make a tweet.
Tweeting is for fuckers.
They have Instagram and Facebook like many other bands do, but it's not just for promoting stuff. They actually connect with people.
You know what that makes us? Partners.
It was really fun working with Rob on Europa, just over Facebook, just messaging a bit. We've never met in person. I've never been to Sweden. I've been to Finland a few times, or Winland as you call it. But hopefully one day in the future we can meet.
Over time, I honestly think the band being active on the forums and interacting with us, joining in on the conversation and kind of being themselves, it pretty much brought me up and it matured me and it humbled me. It taught me a lot of lessons, I guess, about idolization and inspiration, which it really kind of drove me and it gave me direction in my teenage years. Over the years, I picked up the guitar, as you can see. Inspired by Yona, of course, and the first song I ever learned was Hero, obviously. Now I have many more songs in my repertoire, but like pretty much 90% of them are Machinae Supremacy songs. I ended up doing a web design course in uni, in part inspired by Rob, who is a massively talented web designer and just a goddamn creative genius. Over time, with the age of Facebook and building close friendships with the band members in the community, what was first idolization became a sort of like mutual respect and sometimes a collaboration.
Maybe becoming friends with Tommy in Facebook has made me feel a little bit closer to the band, and the fact that the band members, I think I have them all on my Facebook friend list, so it kind of makes me feel some kind of proudness or stuff like that.
Be it sharing our ideas or just random chit chat, you don't get to do that with any other band at all. There's obviously the tribe and the forum before that. It was nice being able to have some sort of connection to the band even before meeting them. And after we met, we became friends on Facebook, and we're enjoying Zach's spine on us ever since.
I'm not actually sure what that is referring to.
On top of that, they also have like a Discord server just for the band where fans and band can talk about anything and connect with each other.
The Discord server revival is a phenomenal thing though, and well, as still mostly looks, it kind of feels right, seeing how the community grows with more and more members joining every single day.
And I think that's great, because usually if there is a band that you like, you don't feel that close to them. They are like a really different world, and they are not actually, the people in the band are not part of your world, just the music. But with Machinae Supremacy, it's so much different.
When I discovered the Machine tribe on Facebook, I've never seen a community like that passionate and devoted for what I perceived to be like an unknown underground band. And suddenly I was like, there were hundreds of people who liked them just as much as I did. That was just amazing.
Life has become more complex in the overwhelming sea of information.
In a way, technology kind of can make people feel more isolated. They're just kind of alone to face the constant stream of everything that's out there, like all by themselves. Obviously, it makes them more connected as well, and when you build like a community of people that's built on things like common interests and tastes and ideologies, and rather than just, you know, like where you happen to live or whatever, I think that's a pretty special thing.
That is something really unique and something that other bands should really learn from.
Some of you may know the Tribe and Plug DJ, and it was there that I kind of met Rob and the guys. I remember we were all listening to music and everyone talking on the chat, and I never really talked to someone famous, and the fact that they were there talking with the fans, it was something really amazing. I would never had expected that.
Most of the time I use the digital world for entertainment and shitposting, but it's also a place where small people can get their voices heard in a way that wasn't possible before.
Robert talks about the digital nation mostly in his songs, but there has been this TED talk. I think what he holds as the basic principle of it is that it's a borderless nation. And that's something I agree with, because in this day and age where it seems that borders and politics and all that have more and more impact in people's lives, I find it really comforting that there is this one nation that doesn't have borders and doesn't categorize people based on their color or social status or their religion or any of that. And I think that right now that gives us a lot of hope, and it gives us a possibility to see a brighter future.
We are all somehow the same kind of people who love this music, and we are gamers the most times, I think, or nerds, and if you want to put it the other way, through the internet, through the digital nation where we are all connected, we somehow get together and learn to love each other, get to know the deepest friendships with people you haven't even met once in your life. Maybe you never will. Maybe he's in Canada and you're in Germany like me.
You can just forget all the bad things happening in the world and just go to a different one where none of this exists, and you can be whoever you want or whatever you want. You can go anywhere you want.
Hearing singing the band about these topics that though you're far apart, you're united by heart is such a good message to hear, that you're actually never alone. And yeah, you can't explain that feeling. It's just like that.
It's hard to be alone. I don't want to be alone.
Thanks to internet, I never had to feel alone in my life.
I feel I'm mostly the same kind of headbanging, gaming, sci-fi watching geek who feels certain things on the internet era society are cool, but some others not so much. But now, because this band and the music and the community, I know I'm definitely not alone with this.
I ran Machinae UK for 3-4 years, and I was heavily involved in the community organisation and stuff like that. And through that, I met some amazing people. The Machinae Tribe is incredible. Everyone is so amazing, and although we're far apart, we are united by heart. We're united, we're connected by the internet. I feel honoured and proud to be part of something this amazing.
If you're a Machine Supremacy fan, you're not just a fan of their music, you sort of get it, like it's part of being a family, I guess. You see someone wearing a Machine Supremacy shirt or some merch, you're like, yeah, it's cool, because you don't see it every day. So when you do see it, it's a thing that you can discuss. It's different than, like, oh, you like Imagine Dragons, like how cool are they? Not that cool.
I think that without the internet, there wouldn't be a relationship between me and the band, because I get to see them maybe once a year, and that's if I'm lucky. And for the rest of the time, we talk online. And that's basically how life is nowadays, because you have all these people in your life that you see rarely, if ever, and you build your relationship on the internet. And I think that's just as valuable as all these relationships we have offline. I love what the guys do with the digital media, because they're so open with their lives. They show us pictures and videos of themselves, and we get to see their lives beyond the shows and beyond the tours, and that's really precious.
The first time meeting them in Manchester has got to be at the top there. As I say, they're all great on stage and off, you know. But also the fact that I've been able to keep in contact with Rob, the singer, who is, over the course of the past couple of years, has given me advice about making music, but for myself really, that I do. It's a bit of a hobby. He's given me great advice about mixing, mastering, and, you know, techniques, which has been great. And just general chit chat. Him and the rest of the band, you know, they're all really social. They're always happy to sort of answer any questions you've got. And I guess that's the whole sort of social media and digital media thing in general, really. It's so much easier now to be able to get in contact with bands and, you know, keep up to date with what they're doing.
The Digital Nation means a lot to me, but actually it's all in this video. I was really happy when Paulina reached out to me for this, and I'm sure it's the same for everybody else. The band created a whole new world for us and gave each of us a part to play in it. You can be anything when you're listening to a MASU song. They have impacted us in many ways. And now we're kind of giving back to them with this video. They were there for us for 20 years, as we are and will be here for them for many more to come. I think that sums up the Digital Nation pretty good.
I wanted to share my favorite Machine memory, which is from here, actually, in Bergen. They were playing a gig at this, there was to be this con, in a way, at the student house here in town, where they were going to play, and I was told rather late. Thanks, Gordon.
Think I'm gonna be the scapegoat for the whole damn machine? Shit.
But, you know, I'm I'm meeting them, and then Jonne Ghibli, he's a fit guy.
The greatest feeling you can get in a gym, or the most satisfying feeling you can get in a gym, is the pump.
And I live in a city surrounded by mountains, so I also walk a lot. And I was like, hey, do any of you want to go for a walk or for a hike on the day of the concert? And all of them went like, no, except for then Ghibli. And Jonne and I, we went for a really nice hike. Walked up this stair and all over this mountain plateau, and we were out for, I think, maybe 5 or 6 hours from the morning to early afternoon. And then we said bye, and everyone, two of us went and changed, and then we were all set to meet at the place of the gig later that evening. And everyone's there, right? Everyone is there except for Jonne. And we start calling him, and we're like, where are you, dude? Where are you? And he did not pick up.
Oh, the gig is about to start. Like, the gig's now, like, where is he? And you start calling him, like, where the fuck is he?
And turns out he had such a nice walk. He'd gone to bed, you know, just gonna have a nice nap, nice rock nap. And he fell asleep, and he did not wake up. So I think the concierge or something at the hotel had to go and knock on the door, and yeah, then he sprinted to the gig. We were only 5 minutes late, but it was very funny. And I hear a rumor that he's not now. There's a ban on strenuous activity before any gig. So yeah, I'm sorry, Jonne. Kind of tripped you up there.
I have a lot of memories together with the band from backstage in Stockholm during the European tour with Children of Bodom, for example, the Radio Channel Bandit gig, the concert with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra play, a video game symphony, and of course also when I saw them perform in a commercial for the World Championships in ice hockey with their song Overworld. at Hovet in Stockholm.
Känns det att hockey-VM flyttar till sexan?
Gubbar, förutsättningarna är glasklara. Liten rink, mycket publik som stöttar dem fullt ut. Men det skiter vi i. Nu kommer vi igen, nu kör vi över de jävlarna. Kom igen nu!
My favorite memories are of getting an experience to know the band, not just as musicians but as ordinary people. It's an amazing thing when the performers coming down from the stage stop behaving like rock stars and starts to communicate really open-minded. This is probably what strikes me the most. I'd never met something like that before.
My favorite related moment with a band was, I guess, this winter in Oulu. I was in their concert, and there's not so big club as it are usual in St. Petersburg. And after that, guys just went to their fans as they usually do, and they just had a big conversation with all of us, and they answered the questions, and they had their question to us, and I was able to have a beer with the group and to talk to every member of the group, and it was really incredible. And I was surprised that the music, it's not the main business in their lives. I was like, what? You're a famous musician, you have tours all over the world, you have albums, you have official music videos, and you're working in a bank? It's so unusual.
We have kind of weird day jobs, I think, for rock star.
I just want to thank the group for their open-minded and open-hearted to their fans. They're really simple and they're very kind to and friendly with their fans, and that's really good, and it's really, really unusual for the big music groups. So thank you for this.
Other than meeting the band IRL, my favorite MASU-related memory would be the day when I received this. I knew it was gonna have my name in it, but finding it and seeing it for myself was amazing. Like here, let me show you. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I literally have my name in a MASU album. Does it get any better than that?
It doesn't get any better than this.
As I consider myself somewhat of a CD collector, the painstaking process of getting hold of one of the rare Machinae Supremacy CD releases. I get that digital music and digital download is kind of one of the whole things that Machinae Supremacy are about, but it is very rewarding to finally get your hands on something like this after years of trying.
I started looking for the first edition of 86 Machine. And since I'm a fan of collecting rare stuff, I was lucky enough to find a copy and paid a lot of money for it.
I would say drinking a beer with Rob on Plug DJ chat. I think he asked who would accompany him while drinking a beer on the chat, and I said yeah. We clinked glasses. And it was kind of fun.
Well, actually, I work as a festival producer here in Finland, and most of the festivals that we produce aren't really my style of music.
What do you say about DJs? Yeah, they suck.
Every time at the festival weekend, I get tired of the rap or hip-hop music or whatever. I lock myself into my car and listen to some Machinae Supremacy, so it makes me feel a lot better.
I started high school 1 year after discovering MASU, and we also had to move out of our house, and we started living in a very isolated place which was quite far from anywhere else in the city, and I had to make these long bus rides every day, and the roads were also super dark, and at that age all of these were quite depressing, to be honest. But MASU was there for me. I would listen to them in the morning, I would listen to them at night. I was basically listening to MASU all the time, especially during those long and dark bus rides. They made everything so much more bearable, and I'm truly grateful for that.
Fast forward to 2014, and I get a message on Facebook from Rob about the booking agent for the UK stint of their tour that year, getting them some rubbish gig venue in, I think, Stoke-on-Trent. And believe me, nobody wants to go to Stoke.
What the fuck?
No one goes there. Not even people in the UK go to Stoke-on-Trent, so no one is going to go there. I remember Rob being really unsure about this gig venue. And when I told him that I was equally as unsure, we had a bit of a crisis on our hands. A few hours later, I got word that the UK tour is in jeopardy and that their booking agent had been dropped. That day, I became a booking agent. Now, I wasn't about to sit around and let my favourite band do their EU tour and then not come to the UK. I cracked open a beer. Now, actually, I cracked open a bunch of beers. And I started reaching out to venues. And within just a few days, we had a gig booked at Manchester Academy, which obviously I saved the wristband. And we had an after party at Satan's Hollow. Now, this Satan's Hollow is a club. This wristband is like rock solid from the sweat. I'm sorry, it's kind of horrible. Now, it was absolutely mind-blowing, the fact that I did this. Like, I'd never done anything like this before. I absolutely fumbled my way through. But the day came, we had a fantastic crowd, and I just remember kind of, I was stood there in the middle of it all, just kind of looking around, just like, fuck, this was me. This is all, I did this. I mean, the band as well, obviously, but I mean, I did this. Shit, all these people are here because of me. And I think it's in that moment, like, I realized that Machinae Supremacy, they don't just write empowering and inspirational and uplifting songs, like, they themselves are utterly inspirational and wonderful people, and that they simply exude this through their music. I was utterly inspired, and I made this happen, basically, because I wanted to for them.
It's winter 2009. It's like maybe 3 a.m. and you are in the middle of nothing, sitting in a coach full of sleeping people. The world outside is just complete darkness. There are no lights, no cars passing your coach, no houses in the distance, just pure nothing. The only thing you can see, aside from your own reflection, are the stars shining in the sky above you. The entirety of the coach is just backlit by this very, very soft, very subtle blue glow that doesn't really give any light, but it just makes it that much more, that's much more magical. At that precise moment when you are feeling like the only person left in existence, Rockwood Asylum starts playing, and the chills, the absolute magic of that moment, when the refrain started playing, when you were sitting there looking at the stars in that coach, in that middle of nowhere, that was an experience that stayed with me for so long that I literally can vividly recall it even now, more than 10 years later after it happened. And even though there are so many other amazing songs, I really cannot pick any other than the Rockwood Asylum. It's absolutely stunning, and I can't thank you guys enough.
One of my favorite memories is also like recording an intro for the band, and also like I whisper Sid Metal Legacy on the song Sid Metal Legacy, and I recorded that in our shower, so it was very fabulous experience. But also the intro that they use before their gigs. We were at Robert's office and recorded that, and I was sick, so my voice was actually very different from what it is. I feel like it made it cooler somehow, but it's really fun for me because, you know, obviously I hang out backstage and I'm part of the crew, I guess, but it's still like every time I'm in the audience, like every time I get to go with them, I'm in the first row or second row, I guess, but like I'm there as a fan. I fan as hard as everyone else, you know? When I'm there and I hear my own voice before the guys hit the stage, it's a cool feeling. Although I still think Ingeborg's intro is cooler. Don't tell her.
I can see it. The rise of a digital nation.
I think I have to say Budapest 2016. I mean, me and my friend, we flew to Budapest for that weekend, for that show and the event the band was on.
And it was also great to go to a small underground gaming convention in a totally different country. And seeing all the fans and how much they had waited to see Machinae Supremacy, because I sometimes tend to forget that it's only Finland that gets like 5 shows a year. And even though I think it was because the venue, I couldn't hear that much of the actual show, I still had tons of fun, and so did the audience. I actually saw somebody at the front row with actual Commodore 64, which I think was pretty funny.
The whole weekend was like, we met already at the Budapest airport while claiming our luggage, and we met at the event, and after the show, we ended up in this local esports bar, and then we met with the guys one last time when, the last call for their flight had already came when we were leaving Budapest. So that was a really, really awesome weekend.
I have really great memories of just from walking around in rainy Budapest in the middle of the night, but also I feel like that was the first time I felt connected with the band, because before that I don't think I had that much opportunity to actually talk with them that much and actually spending time with them other than just seeing them after the show. But that time we really had we were able to talk about everything and anything. And also, that was the first of the many times when I heard Nick singing Living on a Prayer in a karaoke bar.
I think my favorite memories with the band are every time that I've met them, there's been something special. Either it's been a conversation I've had with Andreas, or it's been Nikki's amazing rendition of an Iron Maiden song in a karaoke bar, or it's been something Rob has said to me, or it's the small things, I think. Every time I see them, I get to make memories with them that will last with me for my lifetime, I think. Last time they were here in Oulu, we went to this karaoke bar on a Sunday night, and the bar was open till 5 a.m. We left around 4, I think, which I think we're all glad about. But it's those little things that I don't think the guys even realize that are so important. Those are the times that I look back and I smile about, and I tell my friends about them, and yeah, those are the times that actually make me feel really loved and appreciated by the band, and it's an amazing feeling. It can't be put to words.
What means the most to me personally, and have had the biggest impact in my life, are the memories that I've made with Rob. In a way, I owe it to the band that, I'm getting married in 2020. Fangirling my way into marriage. I've been lucky enough to tour with them, attending their last 2 gigs in Texas when they were there in 2017. And those were just awesome gigs. It was amazing to meet all the fans from there. Just meeting everyone, talking to everyone. I love it. It's really cool.
I think the biggest impact the band has had on my life is for the friendships that have been made possible because of the band, because of the Machinae tribe and all the people that I've met from that, and the band itself, because I consider them being my friends. Even though I haven't met most of the people from the tribe who I talk regularly to. It doesn't matter because we have the tribe and we have the platforms to talk and interact with each other, and I think there are people I might never meet in my life, and that still doesn't mean that they aren't my friends. That's something that when you realize that when it's about a band, it's about a piece of music that's brought you together. And when you think about that, it really makes you humble and it really makes you grateful.
Machine Supremacy brings something different, and I think they talk to a demographic that isn't that much represented in music. And I'm talking about all these nerds like me, who sometimes maybe feel like they don't belong or maybe feel a bit lonely. And then there comes a band that actually makes songs that we can relate to. It's actually, I think, the first band with music I could really relate to. Of course, other bands have songs that feel personal to me or lyrics that really fits in my life, but there's still something different in Machine Supremacy's music.
They changed my life. Their music has changed my life. I still sit and sing to them all the time, and I think to myself, oh my god, how does Rob manage to fit these lines in one breath? And I'm sat there trying to copy what he does, an indiscriminate murder, and I'm just like, I need to breathe. How the hell does he do this? And I still get chills when I listen to their music. Their music is so powerful, and it has helped me through some dark times. It's helped me deal with a few things, and it makes me think how lucky I am to have experienced this, to have met these amazing people, and to be part of their life, their development, their growth, their music.
If MASU stopped making music today, I think their legacy would be as a band who were ahead of the curve before anyone else could even see the curve.
See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
Machine Supremacy did their own thing, their own way. They created an international fan base with free downloads and online marketing and that kind of thing.
And I've been doing the musician thing as well, in no small part thanks to the influence of bands like and including in a big way Machine Supremacy. I think what you guys do is awesome. Musically, and the way you do it and your approach to getting music to the fans in a big way. I mean, when I first discovered you, there was a lot of Machine Supremacy songs online as little downloadable MP3 files, and that's a testament to a band that just really care about creating first, and that you can always tell when a band's really truly believing in what they're doing when they have such a strong, consistent and regular output. Probably don't get bogged down by the business nonsense as much as other bands out there, because they just care about the fans and putting music out, which is amazing. Big respect. I've certainly learned a lot in the way I approach things on a consumer level, absorbing music, as well as on a quote unquote professional level, putting stuff out there.
You fellas have nothing to worry about. I'm a professional.
Big bands are becoming less and less of a thing, and more interesting music starts to come from places that you might not expect. I think, I don't know, internet historians might look back and see that Machine Supremacy were one of the first bands to do that.
I've always believed in the band, And I was not surprised when they signed with Universal Music back in the days. I was actually with them the first night I met them in Stockholm. The band, although, wants to go their own way, and they have gained a lot of fans worldwide, almost without any marketing, which I think is impressive. I think it's their originality, skilled songwriting, and also great lyrics that has made them so popular among so many during these years.
Whether you want to view it as Sid metal or like essentially like basically like hard rock combined with video game music, I think they were really pioneers in that aspect. Absolutely.
Legendary combination of video game music and metal, and uniting people to fight for the freedom of the internet and therefore basically the whole world.
The band's legacy would firstly be their vision. The dudes basically created a genre. Secondly, it would be their modesty and generosity, giving out their music for free when they have worked so hard on it and put a lot of effort into it.
In times where most of the original content is being monetized, sharing something just for the sake of sharing feels special in and of itself. I mean, the webography, the assembly recording, the very first studio album even. It's this simple generosity of the act that really stands out and shows that art for the sake of art is not yet dead. It's very much alive and kicking.
There's the vast community of fans all around the world that they united, obviously through the music and through the band, through which I've made quite a few friends from as well. I mean, heaven forbid that they go on for another 20 years and beyond.
Well, at least they have made my life much better sounding.
I listen to their music like always. I listen to their music when I am sad, when I'm happy, and it's just always helped me to figure it out what I need to do. But maybe there is one song, Nova Prospect, and there are some lyrics. Let's stand, now go, 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 the time for running now is over. And when I have a big business in my life that I'm really scared of doing, I'm just listen to this song and I have more confidence about this, and I'm just sure that, yeah, I will do it and it will be good, because MASU-CON fights me.
I'm a big fan of words. I love stories, and I feel like Machinae Supremacy always tells a story with their music, and I just find the lyrics to be so inspirational. I've made big life changes, not only because lyrics that they've made, but like it has been a big part of the thinking process and like nudging me forward. Specifically, Reanimator, it has a line, to change takes more than to remain, therefore we lay back in the comfort of our chains. I feel like that was like my fight song for a period of time. That line, like, it really spoke to me, and it still speaks to me. It's like it made me realize my worth, pretty much, and I owe it to that song, like, and MASU. And I've told Rob afterwards, like, you were there, you didn't know it, but you were there helping me, and I just find it to be powerful. And yeah, he thought so too, and I feel like there are a lot of people in their fan base who have the same story.
With all that I've lived and learned and grown, inspired by the forums, I'm a community manager for multiple Discords, not least our official Machinae Supremacy one, which I help manage, but also a local Manchester-based one, amongst many others. I got a degree in media management, and I'm now an event host, so not gigs, but still do events, and might do gigs at some point again in the future, who knows, we'll see. I'd still dabble in web design, I still play guitar. I'm not amazing, I'll be nowhere near as good as Yona for the rest of my days. And I'm an actor. God knows why. I guess it's probably inspired by acting out so much in the forums in my teenage years. Maybe. Now, the story of Machinae Supremacy over these 2 decades, it isn't just the story of 5 guys from Sweden and Finland, and obviously the 5 that moved on. It's the story of me, and it's the story of the community, and it's the story of everyone that they've touched, inspired, helped, and influenced along the way.
For me, the legacy is the music and a lot of warm memories which I keep in my heart, and I'm sure that they will stay with me for many, many years ahead. And also it's people who are far apart but united by one thing, and this thing is Machinae Supremacy.
I remember after it was somewhere along these 7 years that I know Machinae Supremacy, I remember seeing in the tribe that someone proposed to someone else in the end of one of their shows. So yeah, Machinae Supremacy would leave a really nice legacy if they stop making music right now, but I hope not. I mean, I still want to see them play and hang out with everyone.
If the band stopped making music, which I truly hope that they won't, I think their legacy would be in us, in their fans, and in the friendships they've made and helped us make. And their legacy would be in that digital nation term that Robert has been talking about so much. I think that band has made a lot of our lives a lot more sunny, if you could say that. They've made us happier, and they've made us see things that we wouldn't have seen without the band. And if they actually stopped making music right now, I'd be so sad, of course, but I'd understand it, whatever the reasons would be, and I'd support them no matter what. And I think that with us, with the tribe, with the fans, that's something they've left behind, the idea of supporting each other no matter what we do and no matter where we end up. And that's a legacy I think they should be proud of.
I mean, we all know Machine as a wonderful band with wonderful music, wonderful lyrics and melodies. What not as many people may know is that they're also really, really good people. All of them. Even you, Mika, though you have an unhealthy obsession with people not keeping their microphones in the original packaging, which I may or may not have done for years. They're really, really great guys. All of them, truly.
Tommy, do you have a sister?
Yes.
Was she here?
Yes. Yes.
She punched me in the eye 3 times.
I told her to.
That makes so much more sense now.
There's so much humor and life and love and the energy and kindness that you hear, and like this power that they have in the music. It follows them in their everyday lives, and just interacting with them is, they're really, really good guys. Funny and kind and recommended to hang with, absolutely.
That's quality content.
I did want to just congratulate you on your journey as a band and all the inspiration you've given people like myself.
I can't believe it's their 20th anniversary. Like, fucking hell. Like, that is incredible. And we're here to celebrate that.
I want to wish to guys the strong health, of course, and I wish them all the best and have more inspiration and have more thoughts that they can express through the music. And of course, I want to wish them have more concerts in Russia and to do it more often than one time in 2 or 3 years, because we are really expecting for them in Russia. We love MASU.
I honestly can't believe you guys are celebrating your 20th anniversary this year. It makes me feel old, but how nice it is to grow old listening to your songs, finding meanings, reminisce. Like whenever I listen to Empire, I instantly become that kid who was blown away 15 years ago. And that will never change. And my wish for you is that you'll never change. You're all beautiful, and I deeply thank you for everything.
I hear that new music is coming, woo! And it's wonderful You're a versatile band. I love you guys to bits.
Keep creating amazing music. Keep playing shows. Keep just keep doing what you do best.
I love you, all 6 of you. Rob, Gordon, Nikki, Jonne, Tommy, Mika. Never stop, okay? You are so good. You are so awesome. You are epic. The music is epic, but you know, like, all you do is inspiring. So please don't stop.
First and foremost, I can't believe it's been 20 years. I remember when it was 15 years and we made this birthday video, and that seemed like it was yesterday, basically. And I really truly hope that there will be 20 years more and even more after that. I wish I could be there celebrating with you guys, and I wish I could be there hugging you and thanking you in person, but I hope this does the trick, at least.
And oh god.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh my god, I'm getting teary. I can't believe it. I thank you, and I love you guys. And I hope I see you soon.
Happy fucking 20th anniversary, guys. You are amazing. You always have been, you always will be. You have touched my life, and I'm pretty sure the lives and hearts of a fucking, a great amount of people. And I'm so grateful for that, and I'm forever in your debt. So have a fucking great time. Enjoy the 20 years and whatever is yet to come, because you've got it's 2020. Let's celebrate. Let's fucking rock out, dude. So yeah, happy fucking anniversary.
It's an accomplishment. Not many bands can do that. 20 years is a long time, but at the same time, I'm wishing you a happy birthday and also hoping for at least 20 more years of win and awesome in the future.
So earlier this year, I had an amazing opportunity to take part in a 50th anniversary to concert by a British band, Jethro Tull. The guys themselves were all well into the 70s, and to be honest, the audience wasn't that far behind. Yet the energy there was unimaginable. The entire auditorium singing along, clapping, cheering, laughing, weeping together with the artists of the youth as they reminisced on the history of the last 50 years. And I hope that when the time comes, the same will be possible for you guys. So from the bottom of my heart, I truly wish every single one of you to stay as passionate about your music and as freaking amazing as artists, as people, as you already are. Here's to another 20 years of pure Machinae Supremacy awesomeness. Rock on, you guys. Rock on. And thank you.
I would really like to wish you a desire and inspiration for at least another 20 years to create new songs and to perform them on stage. Because on every of your show that I visited in Russia, I felt such a powerful energy that goes from the stage, that goes from each of you. And it is very important to feel this, that all this doesn't turn into a routine for you, that you're still enjoying what you are doing. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Here's to many more 20 years.
Rock on. Here's to 20 more years, at least.
Keep doing what you do, and please come back to the UK. All the best, lads.
Happy 20th anniversary. Thanks for the music and memories. You guys are the shit. Keep doing what you're doing.
Here's hoping to see you in Finland sooner than later again, and looking forward to the new album as well.
Thank you, and keep up good work, and keep up doing awesome music, and see you in the gigs next time.
I can't wait. to see what you figure out to do next. And yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks for keeping on and giving us the greatest music I know. Mwah! Happy anniversary.
Yeah, just wanted to say congratulations to you guys on your journey. Long may it continue, and I hope to get to a concert as soon as possible, or if not, meet up in Sweden for a beer at some point. So take it easy, guys, and best of luck with the journey. Bye.
Again, thank you for your music.
Keep it up, Machinae Supremacy.
Happy 20th anniversary, Machinae Supremacy. Here's to the next 20.
Respect. 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 Respect.
Rock on. It's Yusu.
So, congratulations, Machinae Supremacy, to 20 great years. And I hope you'll keep on rocking at least another 20.
Happy birthday. I love you guys. Goodbye.